Nation of Fit in 10, welcome to day 12, and I'm going to get right into feedback, so let's do that. Question about stevia. A lot of people want to use sweeteners, so can you use stevia? I did talk about this a couple days ago and said that stevia was fine. You may want to consider staying away from or avoiding it at the very least. Things like aspartame or Splenda or sucralose or saccharin, these types of things. But stevia, which is a leaf extract, should be okay. Now, just make sure if you use stevia, try to get the organic, because of course they have to extract the stevia from the leaf, and we want to avoid any stevias that use chemicals or any sort of different solvents, or however you want to term them, things that are going to help to extract the stevia from the leaf, and might end up there as a small bit of a residual in the product. We don't want that. Okay, similar to how a lot of the seed oils, they go through a very arduous process in terms of getting the actual oil from the seed. So if you go with stevia, go with organic stevia. Search out organic stevia. All right, another question here. Of course, this is coming back from yesterday. Recovery strategies. What to eat or drink post AM workout? Now, I'm assuming you're talking about a weight training workout. So my suggestion would be, post training, get something in that will digest very easily. So I always do a smoothie after I train, and I try to stick with completely real whole foods. So there are supplements that you can use that, for example, will supposedly replenish glycogen faster or more optimally, muscle glycogen that is. There's some powders like highly branched cyclic dextrin, stuff like this that's supposed to be really good for recovery. A lot of bodybuilders use that. What I do personally, because I like to get as much of my food, well, virtually I get all my food with the exception of powders from real whole foods. I do a lot of pineapple, and not a lot. I do some pineapple, I do some banana, I do some honey, typically as my carbohydrate sources in my post-workout shake. You could use other fruits if you like. And I use protein powder and yogurt as well. I put some Greek yogurt in there. And it's more just for consistency's sake, and obviously the protein. So the reason why you want to do something like this is you want something that's going to, at the very least, if you're having a smoothie or a shake, this is something where your body really doesn't have to go through any mechanical breakdown. Okay, you're not sitting down eating a steak or whatever, some fish, where your body actually has to break that down. A lot of the mechanical breakdown is done for you because it's basically a fluid. So it's going to digest much more readily, and this is going to, at least in theory, help to lend itself to recovery much quicker. Okay, you're able to get nutrients into the body much quicker. All right, so protein, carbohydrates post-training. It might be the one time where I would suggest staying away from a lot of fiber and fat, because we want something that's actually going to get into the system quickly. And fiber and fat slow down the digestion of foods, which is a great thing for the rest of the day. But post-training, we want to get something into the body that's going to digest rather quickly. Okay. So do a smoothie. That's my suggestion post-training. Of course, you don't have to do that. You can eat real food if you like. It's just maybe not going to be as optimal. Now, how much of a difference would it be if I ate, say, a steak and potato versus whether I had one of my smoothies? I don't really know, to be honest with you. Okay, but if you want to sort of optimize things, I would go with something along the lines of a shake. If you really are serious about recovery, perhaps, and maybe get like one of these carbohydrate powders, like a highly branched cyclic dextrin that I mentioned. But that's really specialized, to be honest with you. Some supplements that will help you. Glutamine. So taking glutamine, and sometimes you want to have some glycine with this. They work sort of synergistically. I carry a product called Glutamed, and it's got those 2 products in there. Some other things that will help you with recovery: creatine monohydrate, old school supplement, but works really, really well, and HMB. Okay, and that's just a leucine metabolite, the amino acid leucine. It's just a metabolite of leucine, really, really good for recovery. Now, all of those things are going to lend themselves to recovery, but the 2 things that are going to make the biggest difference in general, okay, is getting good quality sleep, enough good quality sleep, and getting enough high quality protein with enough calories, okay? And I say enough calories because that protein won't really be effective as a building block or as a recovery agent if you're not getting enough calories. Now, I know we're all in a deficit, or should be in a deficit, so you're not really getting enough calories, but you want to make sure, if we're talking about recovery, you want to get to a certain point enough calories so that the protein is spared, so that the protein can do its job as a recovery agent, right? As a building block. Sleep, as I mentioned, super, super, super important. Those are the 2 most important things. So enough protein with enough calories. All right, so make sure you get all your calories, and then make sure you get a good night's sleep. Go to bed early. I highly recommend going to bed early, and try to create for yourself some sort of hygiene before you sleep. You know, there's a bunch of things that will help you get a better sleep, like having a cool room and staying away from blue light at least a couple hours before bed. Having a bath or a shower before bed. This helps actually bring down the body temperature, which gives you better sleep. What are some other things I can think of off the top of my head? Avoid eating really close to bed, just so you don't have something in your stomach that might, cause some discomfort. And do something that's going to relax you, okay? The best thing for myself is actually reading. I like to read, and that's typically what I will do before I go to bed. So, again, enough protein with enough calories. So make sure you get all your calories and your protein, and get enough sleep. That's where you're really going to see the difference, okay? 8 minutes almost? Wow. Okay. Next question. Breathing during cardio. Yeah, I don't have an opinion on this, to be honest with you. Just make sure you breathe, okay? Just make sure that you breathe. Now, there is some benefit supposedly to working on breathing through your nose, apparently. All right, and to be honest with you, I can't remember off the top of my head what the benefits of that were, but I know people, for example, when they go running, they'll actually just keep their mouth completely shut and they'll just breathe through their nose. And there's supposed to be multiple benefits to that. And so I'll have to look into that. But, in general, I don't have any, it's not like, for example, breathing during specific movements, like say a squat or a deadlift or an overhead press or something like that. Breathing during your cardio, I don't have any opinion. So just make sure you breathe, right? Which I'm sure you do. All right, let's get to the message of the day here on this day 12. Some action is better than none. More action is better than some. Full action is best, right? Full action every day. Are you pre-planning your food? Are you preparing your food in advance? How close are you to your numbers? Have you scheduled your cardio? Have you scheduled your sessions in for the gym? Check all of these check boxes off every day. This is where, I'm telling you, the people who do this are the people who do very well in this challenge, okay? And it's all about being consistent with those things. Being consistent with those things day in, day out. Hopefully creating some habits here that will take you into and, outside of this challenge. This challenge is really just a very, very small sliver of what will hopefully be your fitness journey, right? Okay, some action is better than none. More action is better than some. Some is better than none. You've heard me probably say that before. Some is definitely better than none. You're going to make some progress with that. But full action is best. And at the end of the day, when you put your full effort in the case of this program, you're going to feel really, really good at the end, right? When you do well. So That's all, folks. Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, and for the love of God, give some gratitude. And I'll talk to you all tomorrow as we as we close in on 1/5 of the challenge being done, if you can believe it. I'll talk to you all tomorrow.